Got a great question from the Supreme Get-Go who asked for a checklist of all the technical things you should be doing on your videos to make sure that you're getting the most traffic as possible. And today, we're gonna go through that checklist so that you guys are winning, growing, reaching more people, changing their lives, and all the good stuff you're trying to accomplish on YouTube. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer. Welcome to Video Creators, where we are all about helping you guys grow your YouTube audience, make more money, get more views, more subscribers, all for the sake of reaching them and changing their lives with the message that you're spreading. And here we talk a lot about the human elements that really grow a YouTube channel, because all of YouTube's search and discovery systems and the algorithms are designed to surface content that people want to see. And so everything they're measuring are viewer signals like watch time and session time and things like that. But does that mean that all the technical things we do to grow our channel no longer matters? Ultimately, what YouTube wants for us as creators is not to have to learn a whole bunch of technical stuff. It's really just make really good content, publish it on our platform, and then we will put it in front of the right people at the right time. That is the goal of the algorithm, to surface the right video to the right person at the right time. And YouTube does that by really focusing in on the signals that they're getting from each viewer on YouTube. That's how they make a lot of those decisions. And my list of technical things you should evaluate on your channel in order to grow it and get more traffic starts with analyzing your top performing videos on your channel. And I want you to look for trends that all of them have in common. Sometimes you'll find that all the thumbnails either have text or don't have text, or all the titles are written a certain way, or maybe there's a certain topic or subject that they all have in common or something. I want you to look at that and then figure out, like, what can I do to reproduce the success of my top videos? Do that again in some new videos that I'm going to create. One idea might be to make new videos that are kind of like follow-ups to your older ones that are performing really well. And then once you've made those new videos and published them, go back to your older videos and update the end screens to point to your follow-up video so that people are more likely to watch the popular video and then hopefully keep watching on your newer content that's like next step, part 2, follow-up, to be continued type of thing. Unless, of course, those top videos already have a very high click-through rate on your end screen, then I wouldn't touch it. Number 2 is analyze the audience retention graphs on your video. If you've been a creator for any period of time, you've likely heard people talk about this. And then when I ask creators if they're actually doing it, most of them say no, and it makes sense. It's the boring, non-sexy part of YouTube that no one really likes to get into. But there is such valuable information in your audience retention graphs. I have friends who have multi-million subscriber channels who know exactly how many seconds they can talk for before people leave their content, how many seconds their wife can talk before people leave, how many seconds they can go without showing one of their kids before people leave. Like, that is how detailed you can get by watching these patterns over the years in your audience retention graphs and seeing what holds someone's attention and what causes them to leave. For example, I know, like, for you guys, it holds your attention way better if I open these videos with some motion, some really highly edited, quick pace cuts. Like when you click play and you see a lot of action happening really quickly, our audience retention graphs do not decline nearly as rapidly as they do if I would just start the video just sitting down and talking like this right off the bat. Now, that's not to say that your audience will respond the same way. I've worked with over 1,000 YouTube creators. I've looked at, I don't even know how many tens of thousands of audience retention graphs, and I know that they are very different from creator to creator, niche to niche, industry to industry, audience to audience. It varies significantly. So the thing here is not really, well, what's normal, what's best, what's average, what's good or bad. It's look at your own graphs. How are you currently performing and how can you do better? Because ultimately, if you want to grow your YouTube channel, it comes down to how do people interact and engage with your content. And you can look for the patterns that will help you be able to reduce the friction so that they watch longer and get to the end of your videos. And that comes to number 3. The third technical thing that you should be analyzing in your content for almost every video are the end screen click-through rates. Because once you have gotten your audience retention graph to a point where like maybe half the people who click play are still watching when the video ends, now we want to see, like, what do we do design-wise to set up this end screen so that we have the highest percentage of people getting to the end of my videos and then clicking and watching more content. And then those people watch that video and get to the end, click and watch more. Like, and you're just getting massive, at this point, massive watch time across all of your videos on YouTube, and it's just like your whole channel just gets a tremendous lift. I've done several videos in the past about how to optimize your end screens for more clicks and retention and all that. So you'll find links to those down below, or interactive cards around here you could click on. But the kind of a really quick summary is that you need to eliminate any language that the video is over. Do not give your viewers permission to leave. Those end screens need to come on screen while you are still delivering content, and then you only have a few seconds at the end to give them a pitch for the next video you want them to watch, and you're going to point to that space, give them a pitch, and then just talk with the assumption that they're going to keep going. And click-through rates will go from like 0.71% on average to, as like a normal click-through rate on end screens, up to like 30. Some of our clients do over 40% click-through rates on their end screens when they start doing that. The fourth technical thing to evaluate doesn't sound technical at first, but hang with me for a second. I want you to do tons of experiments on your YouTube channel this year. I don't want you to just kind of get into this rut of doing the same thing over and over again and not seeing the traction that you want, but just thinking like, well, if I just be consistent and keep trying, eventually it's gonna pay off, right? I hope. And no is the answer. I have friends who have gone years trying to do the same thing over and over, waiting for their big breakout moment that never came. What I want for you to do this year is to focus on different ideas you can have that will improve your content and make it easier for people to click and watch and consume more of your videos. And it really comes down to how you craft your actual video content itself. Now, where this gets technical is I don't want you to just haphazardly just change a lot of things. I want you to think like, okay, if I tried this one thing, I think that would move the needle on the watch time that I'm getting on my videos. And so I just want you to try that one thing for maybe 5 to 8 videos, and then in your analytics, I want you to create a group of those 5 to 8 videos where you're doing that one thing differently, and then I want you to make another group that's like a control group of like your older content, and then you're gonna use the compare to feature in your analytics to compare group A to group B, where you can see, does this one thing that I'm changing, does it actually lead to more watch time or more subscribers or more views or more whatever the metric is that you're trying to really dial in and change there and influence. And you can use that feature to like A/B test almost anything you want, like thumbnails that have text on them versus thumbnails that don't have text, thumbnails that have a face in them versus 2 faces or no faces, or titles that ask a question versus titles that make a statement, or videos that open without an opening hook and get right into the content versus videos that do open with an opening hook. Like, there's a lot of different things, experiments you can do, and I want you to not just haphazardly make those choices, but I want you to track and measure them so you know what is actually working for your content, your videos, and your audience. The fifth technical thing that I think you should really start focusing on are using playlists more intentionally. They are a very powerful tool. Most creators use them wrong. Most creators think that playlists are just a way of organizing content, but they're not. I want you to think of playlists primarily as a way of getting people to watch one video, and then another video, then another video, and another video. Like, that's what playlists are actually used best for. And so I want your channel to have tons of them, and I want them to be all like super focused, not really long bloated with like 57 videos, but like a consumable amount, like 4, 6, 8 videos where someone can see like, oh yeah, 6 videos, I got time for that. You should be giving each of those playlists really enticing titles and giving them a good thumbnail and just putting your best like couple videos in that playlist and not like the entire, like every video you have that could possibly be about that topic. And then when you get to the end of your video, I want you to pitch that playlist for people to get into them. Like this one here, if you really want to dive into more depth about data that you should be tracking and how to use your analytics in order to find opportunities for growth, click that playlist, get in there. We're gonna have a great time, and I'll see you guys over in that next video.